I never saw Michael Jackson on stage when he was alive singing somebody else's song. Jay-Z on stage singing Beyonce's songs, even though there's that kind of family linkage. It never happened.
Are there exceptions to performing rights? How are the performance rights calculated?
Radio journalists. Now let's come to GIG. A lot of you people makes a lot of mistakes. This is Bnoskka IP Zone, brought to you by Uprise Music Production. Today too is our 8th episode, and we are talking about performance rights. Let's do some introduction of my beautiful lady who has joined me today. Hello, dear lady.
Hi, Bnoskka.
Please, your name.
I'm Margaret Doe, and I'm a recording artist.
Right, so today we want to look at performance rights. So you can say performance right or a performance right. And when we say a performance right, in copyright law, we mean that if you create a movie, you create a song, you make a drawing or artwork or any object. Now, the laws gives you the right to perform it. When we say right to perform, it means right to communicate to the public, right to fix it, like to be able to record it into any retrievable medium, the right to also broadcast in terms of making it known to the public, and then also the right to rebroadcast, like you have done the first broadcasting and then to rebroadcast again. So fixation, the right, fixation here means that you either put it on pen drive, you put it on a tape, you put it on a CD or any retrievable means. And if you have not authorized any person to do that, it means anybody who performs your content by way of fixing it into a DVD or whatever form, the person is infringing on your right. Because the moment you're able to do that, it means they also now have a copy. You see, copyright means the right to copy. But once they have been able to fix your medium into your content into another medium, it means they have also gotten a copy of it, which they don't have that right to do that. And then also the right to communicate. Yes, you have made a song, you have not communicated about it, but then somebody is all over talking about your song, singing it in churches, singing it in so many places. The law does not permit. The moment you begin to do that, then it means you are infringing on the person's right. But beyond that, the law also gives room to free means of performance in the form of education. For example, as a teacher, if I go to educate people and then I use your song in the classroom to educate people, I am performing it. But the law gives me that right to do that because it's by education. It is limited. You can do that in education. Or in a classroom, whether be it university, primary, nursery, or any medium. Once they perform your work in that educational context, it is allowed. But the caveat here is this. If the school now decides, oh, let's charge tickets, 2 cedis, 3 cedis for the children to come and watch, because we have spent money, we have bought a lot of items, and we have incurred costs. So let's charge tickets for people to come and listen to this song or listen to that. The moment ticket comes in, it has moved from educational purposes. Now it is in the performance zone. And so therefore, if they don't have the right to be able to perform, that means the one who created the work, the author or the composer or the writer, if you have not spoken to that author and then he has not given you a written permission to do that, then you are infringing on their right. But once you have got their consent by way of writing and you have paid something either by free, either they consented to it for free or they consented in terms of you paying something, then you have the right to perform. So that is in educational context. Now, let's look at it from the higher institutions. For example, universities and the NAFTIs and the School of Communications and the GIJ people, Ghana Journalism Institute, whatever. Ghana Institute of Journalism, yes. So these are the Institute of Higher Learning. These places, most of the times, they also organize shows, okay? But in their case, if the artist himself has been contracted to come and perform, then there is no infringement because they can charge money. They can charge whatever money they want to charge, and then the artist will also eventually also charge before they come. So when that artist comes there, then whatever they charge they take, then it is also right for them to do so. But another issue is where an artist has been invited. Let's take, for example, Bnoskka, yes. So they invited me to come and play piano pieces. And then I came and I played my own piano pieces. Then I played a piece by Meg, and I've not gotten the right from Meg. Now here, the law says that, yes, I will be paid appearance fee, and then plus the songs that were from mine that I performed. But the ones that I perform, which belongs to Meg, the event organizer, okay, either is the SRC week that they are organizing the program, or student association, departmental association, or whatever, or even the university itself is organizing the program. They have to go and pay money to the person I sing or sang her song, okay? So this is the issue. And it doesn't end there. Let's move into churches. Churches, whether you sing or you don't sing, your church service can happen completely and everything will be fine. But the moment you begin to sing somebody's song, if it's a song that you have gotten the right over it, like you have compiled your hymn book, and in your compilation of hymn book, you took Bnoskka's song, you took Michael, you took Grace, you took Meg, you took anybody, and then you gotten the right, you pay them money, and then they have given you the right to compile that hymn book. Then you have to recognize their names. So you must write their name. This song is by Michael, this song is by this song. Once you do that and you are singing those songs in your church, you are performing it. It is your own right. It's for free. You can do that. But Bnoskka, I made a song, or let's even take, for example, Nasi has come out with a new song, Asida, and then in your church, you have not invited Nasi to come. And then you are your gospel band or your band, your choir or whatever, singing band or whatever band, they are deciding to, okay, let's perform Nasi's song today. The moment they do, they have performed it. So the law says that they have infringed on his rights. So they need to pay royalties to Nasi for choosing to perform his song in that contest. Now, let's take another example. For example, you are in your house. You know, you buy your TV, you buy your tape, and then you are playing your TV, your tape in your room, your hall, your whatever. That the law says as long as you perform those ones in those contests in your home, you are free. But the moment you bring your TV out, you move it from your hall and you bring it onto the street and you are performing, you are infringing on the right of the performers. Let's take, for example, you have bought a CD and the CD is by this artist, maybe Bessie Simons, okay, or Rascal Papia. Bessie Simon has a very popular song. I'm using this as education. So by my contest, I am free to do that. But you bought the CD or downloaded it on the YouTube, and then you took your tape from your room, which is supposed to be a home theater. Now you put it on the street. It's no longer home theater. It's now a street theater. So the moment you perform that song on the street, you are supposed to pay royalty to the performer, which means you are broadcasting it, you are communicating it, you are performing it to the public. So home usage is by free, but if you move that home usage onto the street, you are performing it. For example, you are selling alcohol. Yeah, it's funny, eh? Yeah, so you are singing those songs, or you are selling your drugs, or let me use medicated product. And then you are playing somebody's song in the streets, in the lorry stations. All those ones are infringement. You need to have right over it. Yes, because performance right goes beyond that. Okay, so you cannot do that when you don't have right. The best way to go about it is to make your own music and then use it to sell, or make an advert and then use it to sell. Now, talking about advert too, if you want to make an advert of any form in any way, let's assume that you have a product you want to advertise, and then you have heard maybe Patience Nyako has come out with a song. And because that song is so nice, you think that it will sell your product, because your product has the capability of healing people, and it will be like a miracle when people use your product. So the moment you use that song and you don't have written permission from the artist for that particular song, in this case, Patience Nyako, you are infringing on his right. You are performing their song, which is against the law. Okay, that's an advertisement. Or let's take, for example, radio journalists. Now let's come to GIG. A lot of you people makes a lot of mistakes. Okay. Now you go on radio. Anytime you're on radio, you are talking. You are producing content. And so your content is also private to you. But the moment somebody pick your content on radio and also begin to also perform it in another way, whether they put copyright disclaimer on it or not, they are performing your content and it's against the law. They need to ask permission from you before they can do that. Now, if you also the radio person, you are also making your content, and then you want to now go on what we call live program mention, LPMs. We have gotten advertisement from companies, and so you want to tell the world that you are listening to my program, listen to this adverts, and then also patronize it. So you want to now talk about the advert. You are not supposed to play anybody's song. I want to repeat this. You are not supposed to play anybody's song, because the moment you fade the feed on the song and you speak the advert on it, and then you bring the song back, you are now fixing that particular song into the advert. So by journalism practices, you have to make sure there are songs, we call them third-party songs. Third-party songs or in-house recordings, songs for advertisement, where you have created it yourself. So once you create those things yourself, then you can use those kind of songs to do your advertisement. So let's take, for example, Kwame Eugene's new song, Hello Monica, then you fade it. Yes, so there's this company, they are selling blocks. Come and see your program, then Kwame Eugene sing it, then you fade it out again. And then you say, yes, so there's another company, they are selling blocks, 5 CDs for 5 inches block. Hello Monica, then you fade again. Or once you are doing that, you are fixing the song into the advert, and so it becomes a performance. It is different from you playing the normal song on your radio, and it is not allowed by law. So that is advertisement. Then also, let's take, for example, you go to your church. I've spoken about that. Every song you make, which is not by your hymn book, and it is by whether it's a choral music, it's an anthem or a canticle or for a song, for any means, once you perform it in that context, you are performing. So you need to pay royalties. If you don't do, you are infringing on the right of the person. And now let's take another example. You yourself, your home, you have made your own song, you have become popular. Then they invite you to another program, come and perform. Then you mount the stage. Let's assume that you are Celestine Donko. So you sing your own Celestine Donko, you sing your songs, and then another song drops in your mind and you think it will change the atmosphere. And the song is by Nathaniel Bassey, the Nigerian artist, and you want to sing. The moment you sing it, you have performed the rights of the performer and you have infringed this right. So therefore, the artists need to pick you on. In fact, this has been going on all over the world. But in Europe and America, I can tell you for sure, anytime you are invited for a show, whether you are Shatawale, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Sarkodie, Stone Boy, whoever, if you don't perform your own songs, this is what will happen. They will pay you for the songs you perform, which is from you, and then find out the other song you perform, who does it belong to. If you say it belongs to Shatawale, then you have to go and pay the money to Shatawale. We call it performance fee, because that's what the law says. So make sure that you don't perform a song which is not by you. Let's take, for example, you have learned a trade, and then now you want to apprenticeship, so you want to celebrate the times you are ending. Like in the Akan language, okay? You are going to celebrate your inauguration of your apprenticeship. Now, don't pick a phone and talk over your program on anybody's song. The moment you do, you have made an advert. It is wrong. Don't pick any product and make an advert over it, over anybody's song. Go on the internet, download what we call third-party songs, and then do your advert on it. That one, when you put it on YouTube, it will not be striked out, or it will not be complained. People will not claim it. If you put it on Facebook, they will not mute your sound. If you put it on Instagram, they will not mute your sound. If you put it on TikTok, they will not mute your sound. These days, the digital platforms prevent performance right, which will infringe on anybody's song. So the moment they notice that, they will just mute it. Your video will be there, and everything you say will not be heard. So let us try and avoid this. Let's use the rest of the time to see if my lady has questions. Oh, yes. Yes, and the in-house too, please, if you have a question, just raise your hand. I will acknowledge.
You have like a lot of questions.
Good. Then let's do that currently.
My first question would be, what are the steps and procedures artists need to put in place to avoid unauthorized performance rights to their song?
Good. So what are the measures to put in place? The first measure to put in place is that your song is your personal private property. Like I always say, your songs are your personal private property. And so if anybody performs your song and you find out from your collective management organization, they are not getting songs from you, they are not getting money from you for them performing your songs in their churches or their events, okay? Yeah. Then you have to take them to court. That's all. Yeah, take them to court. Or you can approach them, and when you approach them and they are willing to settle, I have personally settled a lot of cases that didn't go to court. All we did was, you have used this person's song for an advert, so please, you have to pay. I remember the first time I went to one company, the director was like, "Get out of my office. Get out of my office. You just want to come on." I said, "Look, talk to your lawyers and then get back to me. Else, I'm giving you 14 days. If you don't, you hear from me from court, and I'll be very glad to sue you nicely." He called, and this time he was so sober. "Oh, I'm very sorry. Can we meet over lunch?" I said, "I'm not interested in lunch." Next question.
So, Bnoskka, the case of the church.
Yeah.
So, I'm a gospel artist.
Yeah.
And then there are several churches in my neighborhood. I just brought out a song. And now when I walk down the road, I hear them singing my song.
Yeah.
So now I'm also a member of my local PRO performance, of which for now will be Gamro.
Yes.
So now what do? Do I record the church and then take a copy of the vocal to Gamro?
Exactly. Fantastic. Just record them, take them to Gamro, that these churches are performing my songs and I'm not getting any money from them. So please, what are you doing? If they don't have anything to do, it is your personal private property. So go to court straight.
Thank you. Also, in the case of the radio, where they are playing my song, and then during the time of between an LPM. Yeah. So do I do the same thing?
Exactly. Also do the same thing. In fact, that's the best. Always try and get a recording of that, and then you can use it to fight your case. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have several questions I'm just hoping that the time will allow us.
Please do.
Yes. The LPM thing, right?
Yeah.
If I'm an upcoming artist, then I want people to hear my song.
Okay.
And I'm able to have a communication with these radio people. And
they are playing.
Through that is when people will hear my music.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. How do I, because I'm upcoming, I really don't have anything.
I don't want you to worry yourself. Let me answer this one quickly. Okay. So there's a new music business model. People want people to infringe on their rights, and they don't care. It's their private property, okay? So if you don't want to enjoy infringement and become popular, then look for the money. If you want to prevent people, the law will give you that right to do so. Okay. The next question.
Okay, my next question, are there exceptions? Are there exceptions to performing rights?
Yes, that's what I talked about, education, personal usage, okay? And then also libraries or monument board. They can make copies of your work and keep it in the library. It is by law, they are granted, or educational purposes, not for educational institution making concert and charging money. No, that one is not an exception.
Okay, so I have another question.
To bring it.
So does the performance right, does it differ from the copyright?
No, it's part of the, in fact, if you look at the Ghana Copyright Act, Section 28, that is where you would find it, performance right.
So
it is within the copyright. Yes. So these are the rights within copyright. You see, when we talked about copyright, I spoke about, one of our episodes, I spoke about moral right and economic right. So economic right is part of this performance right, because that's where you have to get money.
Yeah.
So your performance, while people are performing your songs, the money should come to you. But if you don't chase the money, it will not come to you. It will just be there and you won't get anything. Yes, more questions.
Yes. My question is still based on the church thing, the church aspect. So is the church regarded as like a commercial entity or?
Straight away, it is a commercial entity.
Oh, okay.
Churches are commercial entities. Event centers are commercial entities. For example, National Theatre or International Conference Center, or even on the street, circle, or any open place where you perform anybody's song, it's a commercial, except your home, in your house, your room. Even your house, if you bring your speakers from your house and you place it on the street, let's say you are doing naming ceremony and you place these speakers on the street, it becomes public. It is no longer personal.
So these laws, they hold here in Ghana, like maybe a gospel artist can hear his song being used as quote unquote praises or exaltation to the Lord.
Yes.
In church.
Yes.
If a gospel artist hears another church exalting God with their song, which probably they also did to exalt the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
So it happens to, it can happen in Ghana.
It's gonna happen. Let me give you a quick answer. You go to US in the 1975, okay? There was the first case that happened with church and copyright was 18, I think 18. The case came to, no, it's 19, about 1964. No, in US. So this music director composed songs, and then the church, the Archdiocese of Chicago, were singing his songs. If you Google, look for the church is guilty. New York Times published it, and it's a part of their laws. And then they perform his songs. And he said they should pay him some money. They said, no, you are a church member, you are the music director, and you've composed songs. We will sing. And they were making photocopies. The guy resigned from the church as the music director and sued them. The case went to court for about 8 years. And at that time, he won $3 million. Oh, wow. Okay? So in US, there's what we have, church and copyright organization. Your church, you don't want any problem. Just come and register with the church and copyright organization. And then every Sunday, you'll be paying how many songs you sing. You have to write them. We call them logging. So you log. We sang Sisi Chum's song. We sang Nasi. We sang Obapa Christine. We sang Joe Metal. We sang this. And then you pay for that blank levy, okay? And here in Ghana, this is what the musicians themselves must understand. If they don't understand, then they start to lose money.
I have an artist who wrote songs for another performing artist.
Yeah.
So in the case that the performing artist goes out to perform the songs that were composed for him.
Yeah.
Now, how do we regulate that? So we understand that there was a big concert he played, and then he performed 4 songs that were composed for him.
Okay, so in this case, the law recognizes the author in terms of the one who wrote the melody and the lyrics. The two together forms the music. And then the recording process whereby guitar, this, that were added becomes the master recording. So the composition is the lyrics, the melody, and then the recording also becomes the master work. Now, before the compositions or the master recording took place, I always spoke, I said this in one of our episodes, that you should do what we call a split sheet. A split sheet whereby you would now know what percentage, the one who composed the song, that's the musical work, what percentage goes to him, 30%. And the master recording, the one who spent his money to record and blah, 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 what percentage goes to him. So when these things are done, then anytime the song is going to be performed, whether the composer is there or not, and money is paid, we know that the artist will be paid this amount, the recording engineer, the sound engineer, and all the people that are involved, whether the drummer, the backing vocalist, and blah, 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 the percentage that is due them will be split into that arrangement. And then the money goes to them. So it is something that performance is ongoing. In fact, even these days when COVID came in 2020, performers moved to the digital platform where people then were performing live. Like you pick your phone, you are singing from here, another person is singing from here, somebody is also sitting somewhere else and is watching what is going on, and it's still performance. And so once you perform people's songs and you don't have rights over them, and then the digital system now created what we call a digital content address, whereby once you put your song there, they have a digital content. So whether you sing it in any medium, they're able to track you and say that, okay, this one, when they notify the original author, he will say, okay, I want to claim it. So I want to claim my part in it, and whatever that is not for me, that is what will be there. So you may realize that you can stream your song and get like 1.5 million views, but the money that will come will not be able to materialize up to exactly 1.5 views, which you should have gotten, because you have performed other people's songs within, and that would go against you because the money has to be paid to those composers and the right owners.
Oh, okay. So are the performance rights automatically granted, or it needs to be registered?
No, it's automatically granted. Once you create your song, you publish it, it's in the system. Publishing here means you come to Uprise Music and we publish it for you to generate an international identification number for you.
Right.
Or you don't, but you perform it outside, you stage a concert, and everybody has identified that Max plays this song, or me, Bnoskka, created this song. That means you have put it on the public domain. But the actual publishing, which will show that who has what percentage in it, which is the split agreement. So it is that. More questions. So those of you watching too, if you have your questions, kindly put it on the comments. We would look at it and give you an answer, and we'll try as much as possible to get to your responses. Now,
Bnoskka, other question.
Please do.
How are the performance rights calculated?
Okay, so performance right basically works this way. Now, if you are invited for a program, you charge. Right. So in the charging, you say, okay, I'm going to perform for 2 hours. So in that 2 hours, I'm charging 100,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. So we split that 100,000 cedis in 2 hours. When you come, you sing your songs for 30 minutes, you sing other people's songs for 30 minutes. It means you are saying that we should pay you 50,000 and pay the 50,000 to other persons. Oh, okay. That's what it simply means.
So it means that if I get you clear, as a recording artist, Max, if I go out there to perform somebody else's song, and let's say my song is only 2 songs that are out that people know, and
so I would advise you sing only 2 songs and move out of stage and get that money. Yeah, if you don't and you sing any other person's song, we have to calculate and take part of the money.
It's mind blowing.
So this is what people don't understand. In fact, you go to Europe, you go to America, there's no joke. The artists are aware. So you will not see Jay-Z on stage singing Beyonce's songs, even though there's that kind of family linkage. No, they wouldn't do that. You would not see R. Kelly singing Kanye West songs. No. I never saw Michael Jackson on stage when he was alive singing somebody else's song. It never happened. He was singing always his songs.
So unless you have permission.
Unless you have the permission. So once you have the permission, already the permission gives you percentage or how much we are going to pay here. So once that is done, once the money comes, we sort it accurately. And this is how time would allow us. Oh, you have one more question? Oh, do it quickly.
It's just quick. I just wanted to ask concerning worship. What about if it's a featuring?
Good. If it's a featuring, also the split system also makes room for that. In fact, these days there are split systems where they don't take money up front, but we want to split whatever comes out, be it performance on stage, performance off stage, the recording itself, and then on the digital distribution systems, pay before you play, and all those things will come in. This is how time will allow us. This is Bnoskka on IP Zone. If you still have more questions, please bring them. We'll listen. And until then, make sure you subscribe, share the video, like it, and do business with Uprise Music as well. We will distribute, we'll publish your music for you. This is Bnoskka, I'm telling you.